It's the start of the 84th Texas Legislature in Austin. The Rio Grande Valley Delegation plans to work across the aisle to make sure South Texas gets its fair share. McAllen City Manager Roy Rodriguez was on hand to meet with the Rio Grande Valley Delegation to discuss issues important to McAllen and South Texas.
I think some of them are regional issues and some of them are specific to McAllen. Some that are regional that come to our mind obviously is the UTRGV expansion, its creation that just happened. We need to ensure that we have the proper funding for its continued expansion and then operation. Another thing that's very important to us is the transportation issues in the valley. You know, for a long time, the Rio Grande Valley has seemed less than other metropolitan areas around the state of Texas.
During the last legislative session, the Rio Grande Valley Delegation was successful at merging the University of Texas Pan American and the University of Brownsville and creating a medical school. But now there's new leadership at the Capitol, including a new governor and lieutenant governor.
I like to look at the glass being half full instead of half empty. I think that we just need to continue to build relationships and learn what some of the other representatives' issues are in their districts and try to help them so they can help us in our area.
You saw that collaboration, cooperation last session and how important it was to get things done. And I think for us, the unity is in numbers. And if the leadership here in the state sees that we're all working together, not only on the House side, but also with our state senators, we can accomplish a lot more and really pull for the whole valley in general.
You look for common ground. You go into it knowing that you might have to compromise on a few things in order to get a few things. That's what I've done ever since I got here, and you know, I think we've done a good job of that, and we're trying our best to make sure that we continue to do that.
I think we have a very good delegation. I think all of us work together united, and we have a regional concept. We have a regional view. It's no more about one city or another city or one better than another. It's all about everybody working together in a regional effort to address the issues for the valley.
Senator Eddie Lucio believes the legislators from the House and the Senate can accomplish a great deal this session.
First of all, I want to thank the people of the Rio Grande Valley for affording me an opportunity to serve here in the Texas Senate and the Texas Legislature in their behalf. I'm humbled. This is my 15th legislative session, and we worked on many issues that have been important to the valley up to this point. Highway infrastructure, we had a dream of having an interstate highway. We finally got that. We had a dream in 1990 when we did a study to have a medical school. That's already a reality as well. A university that served and united the valley. So many other things that have happened, like SpaceX, that will lead to hundreds, if not thousands, of new jobs. This session will be a very important session for the valley. I hope to continue my service on the Finance Committee so I can help write the budget. I've been on that committee since 1993.
For Senator Juan Hinojosa, this legislative session is about looking towards the future.
I have a list of over 20, but my priority is funding for the medical school. Make sure we get it completely funded. We have up and running and accredited, so we can open doors for medical students in 2016. Second is infrastructure. It's very important that not only the valley, but the whole state.
Senator Hinojosa, who served as a senator for 12 years and 16 years as a representative in the Texas House, was selected to be the president pro tem for the Texas Senate this session.
It's an honor to be president pro tem for the simple reason that I will be acting governor anytime the governor is out of the state and the lieutenant governor is also out of the state. And it happens quite frequently, so that I'm able to be the third in line to direct and lead the state. And it's really a great honor to be able to do that for the people of the state of Texas. So I'm excited about it. I'm also humbled that my Senate colleagues nominated me, and then 31-0. I voted for myself too.
Each legislator has already filed bills important for this region.
I guess kind of work on what we worked on last legislative session. You know, there was a merger of UTRGV, trying to see what we can do to implement and help on that. I think there's going to be a funding issue.
There's going to have to be continued funding for the medical school in various components of that, and so we're going to try to continue to help with that as well, and make sure that the university has the tools that it needs to continue to educate our kids back home and our young folks back home to be young professionals. I think healthcare is a big issue for us back home, and we'll be working on that. I sit on the Public Health Committee. I'm hoping to stay on that.
Healthcare is very important to me. I do not want to see what happened in 2011 ever happen again, where we cut education by the billions and healthcare by the billions as well. Texas is healthy. We have a lot of money coming into our coffers, especially the rainy day fund, because of the Eagle Ford shale and the oil and gas industry that's really helping us create a great savings account.
Representative Longoria is serving his second session, and he says his focus is on hometown issues that could help children stay safe.
We filed a couple bills. One of the bills we filed, House Bill 243, which is the school bus bill. What we're trying to do is, there was a tragedy in our district, in La Jolla Independent School District, where a young girl was coming home from after-school soccer practice, and unfortunately, bus stops, she crosses the roadway, and a vehicle didn't stop. We filed a bill that would require the bus drivers to drop the children on the side of the road that they live on, so they wouldn't have to cross the street. It's a work in progress. We're going to work to modify that, maybe just to make it apply to 4-lane roads, so it doesn't have such an economic impact on the school districts, but we think that's a serious issue. We're going to file a bill to designate a certain week within the school year as School Bus Safety Week.
For Representative Munoz, he's hoping to help out families by providing more educational services.
One of the things that we have filed so far have been, first of all, trying to deal with full-day pre-K for areas that have some of the socioeconomic challenges that we face, especially here in the Valley. We continue to look at more avenues to fully fund and restore the funding that was taken away from our schools in 2011. And when you look at economic development, one of the things that we can do is work to have that educated workforce and to create more opportunities, whether that's individuals that want to go and get a 2-year degree, or they want to go to a 4-year degree.
But an issue that's on every mind in Austin and the Rio Grande Valley is transportation.
The Rio Grande Valley is the gateway to Mexico. We have, Eagle Ford shale going on now with Mexico's situation with their oil and gas. We may see some downturn in that from what we're seeing, but nonetheless, we're going to continue to have highways that need to be fixed.
We're blessed to be located where we're at. We're a corridor for economic trade, or international trade and economic development for the state.
We've got a lot of challenges ahead of us. It looks like we have a little bit of a surplus from the current budget that we might be able to use to some degree towards some of those goals. We've got several things that need to be done. We've got to address our transportation system. We have to continue to address our water system.
For the city of McAllen, Rodriguez has specific transportation ventures that could help the entire region to alleviate traffic congestion and boost economic development.
I think the transportation projects that we're here to talk about are really regional projects. They're projects that are on the highway system, which is now I-2. Specifically, it's the interchange at Bicentennial and the interchange on 2nd Street that has become an integral part of the medical community, and now with the development that we've seen there.
Representative Martinez is focusing on basic services, not only for his area, but for the entire region.
I think water is another issue that we're going to continue to discuss this session, but a major issue is transportation. Being the Vice Chair of Transportation, the Transportation Committee in the Texas House, that's a big area of focus. Not only throughout the state, but especially in the Valley. The fact that we have a lack of infrastructure in the Valley is an issue for us, and the funding that we need for a lot of our transportation issues need to be addressed. Now with the drilling in Mexico and allowing American companies to drill in Mexico, the Valley is going to become a staging area.
The new leadership in Texas may tackle a new issue that may take several sessions to address, according to the RGV delegation.
Same thing goes for border security. That's going to be a big issue. Both the governor and lieutenant governor ran on a premise that they wanted to go ahead and address this issue. So I mean, we're on the border, all of South Texas, the Rio Grande Valley, so I think that's going to be a big issue. So what we can work on so that DPS, National Guard can work with local law enforcement and better that. So I think there's going to be some big things from the Valley. Last year was just an epic year for us.
Border security is something that you're going to see quite a bit over the next session and beyond, and coming up with the right balance when it comes to border security is important.
The Valley delegation is confident they are being heard because of the regional approach to major projects and the influx of new elected officials from across the state.
In 2011, when I came in, there were 34 new House members. Now we have, in 2013, there was 43 new members. And so I think for all of us, we've moved up in seniority a lot quicker than normally I think we would have experienced during the process. But I think it's great because here, the more seniority and experience you have, the more you can accomplish in terms of taking more of a leadership role in the whole legislative process. And I think it's important that we work now with the whole transition with our governor, lieutenant governor, our state senators, to do what is right, not only for the Valley, but for the state of Texas.
Rodriguez says our community can help legislators throughout the session if citizens can communicate with Valley lawmakers about issues important to them.
We want our delegation to know that we support them. It's a difficult few months that they go through here. There's hundreds of bills that they and their staff have to review, and we have to be here basically to help them go through all of that, navigate through the good ones and bad ones, and let them know that we support what they do.
The 84th Texas Legislature is off and running with a new governor and lieutenant governor, which may change the course of the Rio Grande Valley. But if it strengthens numbers, the RGV delegation says they are all willing to work together to make a great session for South Texas. For the City of McAllen, I'm Roy Cantu.